Little black book. You know what time it is. Time it is. Time it is.
Okay,
Time it is.
so he kind of ran. Mm. Okay, so when the conversation is brought up, did you just air it out straight away? So I just want to ask him. I want to get his experience as well. So you air it out straight away. As soon as he asked you, you just said, "Yeah, this is what happened. X, Y, Z."
Mhm. Yeah. I told him how it happened. The same thing I told you. Like, we were on a date. We decided to go out for drinks afterwards. We ended up kissing, blah, blah, blah. Like, I told the story. And so he knew. I told him that night.
Guys, so welcome to Little Black Book. We're talking to you guys about Sabrina becoming from a villain to a hero. We're going to talk a little bit about not necessarily about the interview per se, but about the change of hearts of people towards Sabrina. Now, I know some of you are probably going to be claiming, I always said Sabrina was cool. A lot of you were not saying Sabrina was cool. A lot of you were agreeing with me, saying she was a bit of a villain. But a lot of you did say you liked her as well. So let me not be unfair to you guys. You know what I mean? But in real respect, when you want to have a little conversation about coming on this channel and just kind of just being you and just telling the truth, I'm gonna say this though. She's still a villain in my eyes. I'm so sorry. She's still a villain in my eyes. I know some of you might not like that. She's still a villain. Okay? She is still a villain in my eyes. But I understand why she's gone from villain to hero. I get it. I understand it. I deep it. And I think a lot of the change of heart, especially, was the way she also spoke about the interactions with the men and spoke about the interactions with Joy as well. Listen, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like it, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. Listen, man, it's mad out here, baby. It's mad out here, okay? Woo, Chile. Okay. So Sabrina situation. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. Chile, that was a lot, wasn't it? It was a lot. In terms of hearing her perspective and thoughts, and the way she talked about how the beef was with even Joy. I was like, I did not know. You know what I mean? So listen, it was tight. It was tight indeed. So I'll play a little bit of it, and then I'll tell you why I'm addressing the way it is. All right, cool. Let's have a look at this quickly and play. In the course of the season, is this something new? Like, because it was a lot to witness you enjoy, go back and forth. Like, did you try to take Clifton as well?
Yeah. Joy has had a really bad habit of oversharing her opinion about other people's connections on the show, and she's done it since day one. She's always been very loud about her opinions, and for me, I'm like, girl, you found your man. Just be quiet and sit down over there with him. Like, why are you tripping off what other people are doing? And so that wasn't the first time.
So
she had,
at that point, obviously, things that were shared yesterday. I think she spoke. When one person speaks on another villain and their behavior, it does help it does help the I guess the hero status. Now, why do I say I still think that she's still a villain? I tell you why. Okay, and I'll say it again. From my perspective, when I talk about villains, I'm talking about people that know their power, know how to wield it, and use dark arts. That's it, right? My thing is, villains aren't necessarily people that are extremely bad. There are ranges of villains. When I talk about a villain, it can range from different things. Why I still say she's a villain, not because she's not nice. She's a very nice woman, very, very friendly, very, very bubbly. I really enjoyed our interaction on our channel. I think it was amazing. I loved it, and it was good to hear her point of view. It was enjoyable, it was enjoyable. What I'm talking about being a villain is being aware, and I'm talking about the fact, and I didn't even question her on this because it went past my mind. I forgot to kind of ask about it, right? She actually did it on the live. it is the name calling. And I forgot to address it because I think my mind was kind of racing at 1,000 miles per hour, and the tea was spilling. And once the tea was spilling, my brain, right? You know, I was like, hold on a minute. No, the way you played Tory was villainous. And why I say villainous is because one thing I didn't bring up to her was that a comment Tory made on the show. On the show, Tory made a comment, said, when I try to pull away, she pulls me back in. That is the villainous stuff I'm talking about. Not that she is a bad person or anything like that. No. I'm talking dark arts. You know what I'm saying? The tea was spilling too much. I was getting confused, right? So there was dark arts used, you know, and in respect to that, you know, when she was dealing with a Tory situation, right? She knew exactly what she was doing. And when you know exactly, and that's why I said to you, you heard it from Clifton's mouth yesterday, where Clifton said it was a business arrangement. And it sounds so dark when someone says a business arrangement. I don't really care. Personally, it is what it is. It is what it is, and I don't really mind that, right? If you're gonna do dark arts about it, I personally already know how I play about it, right? But my thing here is that she knew exactly where Tory stood and how much he liked her, and he became a paperweight, and you knew that. So of course, I'm not asking her to hold him accountable for how emotional is it, right? I'm not saying that she is responsible for how emotional he responded. I was talking about the fact that you knew you were dragging it, even when he's pulling away, you're dragging him in. Even if he tries to go elsewhere, you're dragging him in, right? That was a comment he made, right? So I was like, oh, but I didn't get to ask her about that specific part of the conversation, right? Bear in mind also, because I know certain other details. So it's like when I know the other details, I'm like, and this is it. And this is also, Memi, this is actually it. She didn't actually admit to the behaviors. If you actually listen to the interview, there wasn't any admittance to the actual behavior. I love Sabrina. Love Sabrina. You know what I mean? I get on with Sabrina. I will invite her back on this channel as well. I have no problems with Sabrina at all. I'll invite her back. I want her back on this channel. I want to have more conversations because I think she got a lot to offer. But baby, you ain't about to play me and try to tell me you weren't playing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and if you notice all the issues here, no accountability for anything that she actually did or contributed towards the situation. Now, of course, I didn't really ask what her accountability was in the actual issues, but you know, when people are being aware of what they do, they say, maybe this is what I could have done, or this is what I should have done. There was no accountability of what she had done in Donovan, Demetrius, and of Tory. Every single person, she labeled what their faults were, but she did not label what she went wrong with. Right? So I know you are a game player. I know that you're moving mad. And so as much as the audience was saying hero, I wasn't saying hero. I'm sorry, you still a game player to me. And you know you're a game player. I just want you to admit you're a game player. Right? Yes, and she did admit that, and I didn't even bring that up again, right? I didn't bring that up again because I felt like, you know, I was the tea started spilling and everything like that. But I wanted to get what she was gonna say. So yes, I didn't give her hero respect in that respect, right? Now, here's the thing. Now, y'all know I like to be a little bit special with the way I move things. You know what I mean? I like to try and get this straight to the source. You know, you know what I mean? Life budge. No, I wasn't lost, you know. I wasn't lost. But I wanted to see if she would actually come with accountability by herself. It's interesting because you get to watch how people move, right? And it was only the marriage part that I wanted to kind of see what her accountability was in terms of what she actually did in the marriage aspect. I wanted to kind of get a bit more broader perspective in that. But when it came to the men, I was waiting to see, would she say accountability? Not once. And I let people hang themselves oftentimes. So sometimes it wasn't necessary to have a beef or no over that. It's just I've watched the behavior, I've seen it. Not once did you say, okay, they had this issue. What do you know what I realized? Also, this is my issue. I was like, okay. Okay. But listen, you know what? I'm gonna do something special. Like I did yesterday. You know, I want to go straight to the source. Okay. want to go straight to the source. Okay. All right. Because I wanted to go straight and ask the person, one of the people that were actually involved, you know what I'm saying? And get their perspective and what their thoughts were, you know what I'm saying? So, I decided to reach out, and, get somebody on board here and let them tell their truth because, that's what we do around here, right? So I'm glad you guys have joined in to this morning because have got a little sign special in here. Yeah, man. Master Tory.
Hey, how you doing?
I am good, sir. How you doing, sir? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful and blessed.
That's what I like to hear, sir. That's what I like to hear. Listen, I'll do this quickly because I know you're in the place. I want to quickly do this for you. Yesterday's interview. How did you find yesterday's interview, sir? Your honest thoughts.
I only watched part of it, but I felt like most of it was BS. Like I was like smelling BS through the screen. I was like, you know what? I don't. I'm all about uplifting our people, never talking negative about others. But Lord Jesus, a lot of that was a lack of accountability, a lack of BS, a lot of games were being played. I was like, wow, there's no accountability.
When you say no accountability, what do you mean specifically? What's the accountability that you were looking for?
Well, okay, I heard what she said about me, Donovan, and Demetrius. It didn't make any sense. Like she said, well, Tory's emotional, blah, blah, blah. But then the next sentence, she was like, but he was like, whatever, I just want you to do you and be happy or whatever. So he really was just kind of chill about it. Then she says, well, Demetrius more chill. But no, he was going off on me behind camera. I'm like, okay, you contradictory. Like, this one emotional, this one he's more chill. But my thing is, you told every guy what you wanted, and when they gave it to you, you had an issue. You told Demetrius you wanted somebody to be more forthright. He gave it to you. You told me what type of guy you wanted. Like, you like a guy to do this, A, B, C, D, and this. You told me this is your love language. Give you that, then it's a problem. She asked for a lot of things from all these men, and when she got it, it's like, whoa. I'm like, she backed off. Like, what y'all don't see was up until the Bonfire, I was her number one pick. They cut me out of a lot of her tops. They cut me at the top at the mixer. If you listen carefully, you can catch Ann, Demetrius, and Clifton. I was her top until then. Okay, why was I your top if you wasn't feeling Tory? Why was I your top if, it was just a misunderstanding or you wasn't attracted to Tory? So why do Joy and why did the rest of the cast feel so enlightened or emboldened to step in and say, no, it was Tory, it was Tory, it was Tory. These are other people. This is not Tory now. That are in your ladies' lounge that feel you're so passionate about Tory. Why do they feel a need to step in? My conversations are with you, and I'm not really talking to a bunch of women, but all these women feel like they need to jump in because they like, oh no, this is a good guy. Then where did that come from? They have no leg to stand on with me because I'm talking to you. They feel that emboldened to call BS. Then something there just don't add up. To me, I felt like she kept me around, and I actually knew she kept me around for votes. She didn't want to go home. I was just votes. That's all I was. I was somebody that, that she'll send a cookie cutter. I found out she was doing the same thing to me and Demetrius and Donovan. She'll send Donovan a thing of his horoscope with her Virgo. Do Demetrius like that. She did me like that. So sometimes I just look at him like whatever, because I feel like she's just pretty much playing games. And it was a cookie cutter thing. I found out she told Demetrius and Donovan the same thing about showing her sister our pictures. To make us feel like we're something she's thinking about. Because she said, Tory, I showed my sister your picture. She said you're really cute and really handsome. Find out she did the same thing with Donovan and Demetrius. It was a cookie cutter mold to keep us guys around. And I'm not going to even, it's not my place to talk about her marriage. It's what she told me, but what I found out later is a different thing. I'm not that emboldened to do anybody that way. But when somebody tells you they have an issue with getting your last name and they love you, then what problem lies there? You love a man enough. If you love a man enough, what's the issue of getting their last name? If you love somebody, why are you even worried about it? You're here to be a union. You're here to be one unit, but have your own opinions. But you're here to be a team. I mean, when you join a team, you join the Red Sox, right? It's not the Red Sox and the Bears. It's the Red Sox. They have a bunch. Everybody has their own part to play. You have the outfielder. You have the shortstop. We all have our opponent. We all respect and we work as a unit. I think for her, she wanted to work just the way she wanted to do. She wanted to be the team, the captain, the the coach, the referee. It wasn't cool. And I think she just didn't take accountability. She said a lot of issues with the guys, but what issues did you have? What issue did you address within yourself? What I will tell you, and I didn't tell anybody else, is I met her off camera. I kept that to myself because I'm not a messy guy. So Donovan wasn't the only one. Now, we didn't make out. We just went out for drinks and food or whatever. And then one time she came over to see me, and this is where she told me about Donovan and Demetrius. And she pretty much, I wouldn't say she dogged them out, but she told me she was not going to be with them, that they drew red flags with her and blah, blah, blah. And she was going to go to the lake house and not talk to them anymore. And they had to have a conversation. She said Donovan was, I'm not going to repeat it on thing, but she didn't say nothing nice about Donovan. She told me Demetrius was a drill sergeant. So I get to the lake house. I know I'm skipping around, but it's so much with this girl. I get to the lake house. She's telling Demetrius, step it up, how much she like him, calling him babe, fixing his plates, giving him that full star service after she just told me out her mouth she is not going to talk to that guy, or she going to have a dress. She don't think she can be with them. Out your mouth. So I'm at the lake house, and this is why you see me quiet. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? This girl just told me out my mouth, just came over to my house, told me that, she don't think I'm emotionally connecting with her, and I didn't even ask any questions. I was like, okay, cool, because I felt like it was a game being played anyway. Then told me, she had to have a talk with Demetrius and Donovan because she just can't go forward with them. But you're rubbing on Demetrius' thigh. You're fixing his plates. You calling him babe. Okay. You sending this man the wrong signals. Why are you even going this far? You just told me out your mouth. You're playing, and y'all sitting here want to say, well, she got allowed to date. She played a lot of people. She sold them dreams and told them. She pitted, okay, Bonfire. Y'all think it's because of Sabrina kissing or nibbling on a guy's ear that I was shocked. No. At the bus tour of DC, when Demetrius was in the back, and then Sabrina said I walked into a car. She just dogged that man out to me on the way to the car.
Wait, hold on.
That's what I was shocked about. I keep my mouth shut because I'm not a messy person. But she told me, the way he was acting, no, I cannot date a guy like that. No, he's just coming out with no personality and he's acting all angry and mad. That ain't my type of guy. No, so I'm sitting here okay, cool. Well, it's just Tory then. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. The bus. Are you talking about the bus scene?
The bus scene. When she said I walked into a car.
So when you walked into a car after?
Yeah, remember she told you last night I walked into a car. Remember?
Yeah. Okay. So after that, that's when she.
She's talking about Demetrius, how it was acting, she's not feeling how he's acting, that ain't the type of stuff she go for. So now you got to realize the Bonfire was after that. So it wasn't but a few days after that. So I'm seeing this and I'm like, okay, you into my face, you acting like that ain't the type of guy you could talk to. He's too, she didn't say emotional, but just how she didn't like how he was standoffish or whatever. But you got to realize what they didn't show is I was in the back of that seat. So we all rotated. And it feels awkward. You know what I'm saying? It feels awkward trying to talk because you have the wind in your face. You know what I'm saying? It really ain't got nobody. They made the production gave you 2 women and 3 guys. That didn't make no sense to me either. So you got to understand it's not how he was acting, it's just the situation. You know what I'm saying? He's a more reserved guy. He's not going to come in and just interrupt. You know what I'm saying? He sees me and her talking. And it's funny, she's like, oh, well, Tory's talking my ear. No, chick, you was giving me conversation because you were playing the game. You know what I'm saying? You acted like you was into me. I was your number one. The vote before that, I was your number one from the first. I was 3 ladies lounges, number 1 pick of yours up until the bonfire. If you were that interested in Demetrius, why was I not your number 1? Why did you vote me your number 1? Production may not have showed it, but I was your number 1. It doesn't make no sense. We had a conversation right before the bonfire, and I said, you feeling anybody else? Blah, blah, blah. I said, who's your number 1? I still got the text messages. I can show receipts if you want on my phone. Tory, you know, you're my number 1. I'm really feeling you, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's what everything coming. And I feel like some people were playing games. They were building alliances because I know you capitalized on the Precious thing, but Precious was sending me messages talking about how much she was feeling me, liking me too, and how much she wanted to get to know me, but there was never no action behind it. I didn't realize till later that her and Precious were friends. I said something to Sabrina one night and it threw me up a red flag. I said, you know, one day I would like to, you know, when everything's done. No, I didn't say everything. I said one day I would like to, you know, it'd be me and you, glass of wine, and watch a good movie. She sent me a emoji back saying, no, not until the end of the show. I didn't say now, but okay, cool. But your first thoughts is the show? You send me not to the end of the show. Like, if you feeling somebody, you feeling them. Like, your first thoughts are the show. Not now, but the show. So then I had a conversation with Precious, maybe the next day, and I told Precious that I feel like, you know, something's up with Sabrina. I just don't feel like she's feeling me, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know they were friends like that. I feel like she's playing games. Sabrina, Precious was like, no, Tory, she really feeling you. I know this for a fact, but, you know, I feeling you too. But, you know, you got to trust but verify. Trust but verify, she said. That's her phrase. You know, I can't say, but, you know, I feel like, and then she was telling me about some date they were on with Demetrius had text her. She's like, why? You know, he's doing that. They were playing the game, make a long story short, making me feel like, well, she was not into the other guy and they were playing the game. And then later on, which was funny to me, because I didn't call Sabrina the whole day. Later on that day, she called me and was like, seemed very nervous. And she was like, you know, she gave me a little small talk first. She was like, yeah, and I know you feel like, you know, what I said about the game, the show, you know, after the show, I'm a little shaky. Just, I want to follow the rules. I want to follow the process. Now, take in mind, this come out of nowhere, but I did tell Precious this. So make a long story short, Precious relayed information, and them 2 girls were platforming off each other. They were working together in tangent, you know, and it was a bunch of manipulation for the guys. I don't know what people were there for. I know Precious, she told me out of her mouth she had her swim line, and she thought it was a good opportunity to meet friends, which is okay to do both, you know what I'm saying, and meet people. But way Sabrina moved, it's just like, okay, take some accountability. What's wrong? Is something wrong with all these guys? Is something wrong with what the ladies in the ladies lounge see and feel? But there's nothing wrong with you. I'm gonna end it on this note, and I'm gonna leave it like this. I was never gonna tell nobody this either, but I met her after the reunion too. I keep my mouth shut. Because I'm not one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those guys that just like to keep my mouth shut, stay in the shadows, and shut the fuck up. Excuse my language.
It's okay.
So to get a clarity of what was going on during the thing, and I said, Sabrina, I felt like you were boy crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would look at me with the googly eyes, you look at Donna with the googly eyes, Demetrius. I felt like right now you wasn't ready for nothing. You wasn't ready for nothing. And she admitted to not being ready for nothing. So she admitted to being boy crazy. This is on my life. This is on my soul. This is on my beautiful, beautiful family. This is on everybody I know. This came out her own mouth. So nobody. So just in case somebody want to say, "Well, Tory's lying," or he feel, I give no care. I don't care. But to see the lies, it's just okay. That's not okay. It's not acceptable. You knew you was not ready. You knew you was not into these guys. You know, I peeped it out early, but people don't see that because that's what production wanted to do, and I had to back off. People think, oh, I was in my feelings. I was in a state of what disbelief because I thought people on here were real. And then you realize they're not real, and you're trapped in a maze of trying to navigate how you feel and what people are telling you. You know what I'm saying? They're telling you one thing, well, yeah, I really like you, I want to get to know you, but they're not showing you that. And lastly, I felt when you saw me and Demetrius sit down and talk, they cut out our conversation. But we talked about how we felt. We talked about grown men. I was never a conversation where I had to clarify anything with Sabrina. I already peeped her out a long time ago. The conversation I had with Demetrius was his gut and how he felt. Because he was feeling how I was feeling most of the show. I told him he had to follow his gut because he was like, energy don't match with words, Tory. And he was like, I was like, yeah, it doesn't, bro. I said, you feel how I felt. Don't feel, and you're not alone. I said, Donovan feel that way. I know you feel that way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just now getting to know you. I had to sit over there and chop it up because I could see this man. I could see this man's heart. I could see his face. I could see that he genuinely wanted something. I didn't know him prior to the bonfire, but prior to the bonfire or prior to the lake house. But I saw him being set up for her. I saw him being set up for failure. I saw him being played with. So I went over there and had a conversation with him. Not to throw Sabrina on the bus. I didn't do that. I didn't talk about Sabrina. I just told him, I talked about how he felt as a man and in the situation that he is in. And he didn't feel right. So he had to, and I told him to follow his gut. And he really liked the girl. And what she did was not okay. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, she spared me. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have been at the end of the road looking like how she did everybody else. But that was not okay because I knew before the end of the show that she was not going to talk to them. She told me that out of her mouth.
Quick question. You made a comment on the show, actually. It was like a cut scene situation where you said, where she gave you the present for the candle, during that scene, you said something like, I was moving, I've been trying to move away, but she keeps pulling me back. What did you mean by that comment?
Every time I felt like, so there'd be days, Sabrina would text me or send me messages and I really wasn't responding. I was like responding maybe hours later, but I was doing it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? If I even responded. And she would send me horoscopes, like I told you, or nice little messages and stuff like that, or, oh, out of nowhere, it's good morning, handsome, blah, blah, blah. Then I realized, then I got the candle and I'm like, okay, she gave me a gift. Because by that time, I just totally disconnected. Like, I felt like she was full of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I disconnected. So I'm like, wow, I get a gift. And then she told me she got the gift because, she was, thinking about me, and I'm always the type of person to get a gift. And, out of a lot of people, she feel like I am special, blah, 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 blah. And to me, I felt like, and she was like, I put a lot of thought into it because I wanted to get something that he liked, that, I would like. And it just left me with mixed feelings because it just felt like she just kept trying to pull me in every time I tried to break away. And it didn't feel genuine. It felt like it was just to keep me around. Like, hey, I need Tory around because I only really at this point got him, Donovan, and Demetrius to keep me on. I felt like it. I'm not saying this was true. I'm just telling you how I felt. Every time I try to leave, Shawty kept pulling me back. You know what I'm saying?
Did you also know, because obviously she made a comment on another interview saying that she actually wasn't necessarily attracted to you in the first place. I don't know if you heard that.
No, but you know, I got screenshots for days for somebody that wasn't attracted to me. But you know, it is what it is.
Mm.
I mean, it is what it is. My thing is, so why was I your top? If you wasn't attracted to me, why was I your number one at the mixer?
So you didn't
Why
know
was
that? You weren't aware of that? She never said that?
nope?
Okay.
Why meet me off cam for a date? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Why send me messages telling me that looking at our compatibility chart? Why show your sister my picture? You know, why take the time to say good morning, handsome, or call me and say uh, you're a beautiful person? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was all games. She was never sincere. It was games to keep Tory around. It was games to keep Donovan around. It was games to keep Demetrius around. As you noticed, after the show, she's had her impressions have had more interviews than anybody on the damn show put together individually.
Mm. I haven't seen Precious' interview, so I don't know. But okay.
But it's been it's like a lot of interviews, and it's like, okay, you're not getting that same energy with the guys like the Donovan and Demetrius and Tory. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
and I mean with Donovan because he's with him and Carmen's in a relationship, but it's like why not? Why the guys are not getting that same energy? You know what I'm saying? Why they not getting that same setup? It's all to spin a narrative that people are heartbroken, but people people were peeping her out. You know what I'm saying? The ladies peeped her out. I still got to the ladies today say when Ace was like, Tory, I couldn't, I just with you, I really liked you, but she was in the ladies' lounge talking good about you and how much she liked you and how much a good person you is and how much she was feeling you. You know, this is me the same thing. Carmen told me the same thing. Joy told me the same thing.
That
Tina
what?
said, "Oh my God, I just got here, but I was shocked, Tory." All these
Oh, what?
ladies,
Shot to what? The nibble the ear thing.
the nibble in the ear thing,
Mm.
and that they thought that she was so into me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what she said in that ladies lounge, but evidently, I don't know. Maybe she just hit that switch and it just changed.
Mm. Oh my God.
I mean, she sold all the. Honestly, my seriousness came from what all the ladies were telling me. My seriousness and my attentionality became because I'd be on the phone with the ladies and they'd be like, this girl is really into you, Tory. Uh, blah blah blah. So how you moving? Hey, Precious be like, I really like you. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? But my girl really like you, man. That's all you all should talk about in the ladies' lounge. And
Mm.
that's why Joy came in. Cause I like people like, why you had Joy speak for you in the ring? I ain't had Joy speak to me. Joy just doesn't like bullshit. Joy,
Mm.
she'll call that out. Joy, I was never Joy's top. So Joy has no reason to vouch for me or just stand up for me. She just didn't like the BS. You know what I'm saying? Um, because she came there for love. You know what I'm saying? So when some people come there for love and they see other people playing games, it upsets them. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a female. It's like always when a female see a good guy, it upsets them because there's not too many good men there. You're gonna just ruin a good guy because you want to play games. That's how they feel. I've come to understand that like women do not like other women playing with good guys because it's so not say there's a lot of us, but it's like you don't want to ruin a pure heart. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm.
don't want to ruin a person that somebody else could be good for. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I think she just wasted all the guys' time. But take some accountability. Yes, 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 I was not ready for love. Yes, I was not ready for a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a little bit of me. That's what I'm saying. She should be like, okay, I wasn't ready for them. Yeah, there's a little bit things about these guys that I didn't like. But additionally with myself, there's a lot of things I need to work on because now she's coming out narcissistic. Now she's coming out unintentional. Now she's coming out like she just played with everybody and what she did. But take accountability. Okay, you know, I've heard Demetrius take accountability. He said, uh, now that she addressed things with me, now I know how to go and I can correct that. Anything can be communicated, worked through when he communicated. Remember, he said that. Tory says, I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I just, need communication. I need the understanding of, where you're going, because I don't deal with shaky. I don't like shaky, because you go to Walmart, you know what you're going to get. You're going to go pick up the chicken, you go pick up the broccoli and the rice. You go to Target, you know what I'm saying? You go, you come to get something specific. You go to the hardware store, you're going to get some 2x4s and a hammer. You come into the situation knowing what you want.
Mm.
But if you come in with that energy where you're going to Walmart, expect to pick up some 2x4s and some other stuff that you didn't even come for, you're not ready. You go ready to love was for people that were ready to love, not ready to play or ready to be indecisive. And you can't have that cookie cutter guy. Like, I think with Demetrius, he understood his faults and was willing to work on them. A man that's willing to work on them, that's all that matters. That should have been all that matters. He's not perfect. Tory's not perfect. Donovan's not perfect. But you got somebody that's willing to work on themselves for you. And that should have been all that mattered, right? Am I wrong?
No, I'm hearing you. She did say, though, okay, the scene after the nibble the ear situation, she said that she spoke to you for 45 minutes. That's what she said. She said she spoke to you for 45 minutes trying to reason with you, about the situation. So what about that part? Because, the nibble the air situation, 45-minute conversation about, what's going on and where you stand, etc., etc. What's your thoughts to that? Because
it was a 25-minute conversation, a 20-minute conversation. I ain't even asked her to have or need her to have. I went to the bathroom. She followed me to the bathroom. Then I come out the bathroom. She followed me and stood by the door talking about we need to talk. I'm like, I'm good. We don't need to talk about nothing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you made your choices and you do what you got to do. You're a grown woman. I can't be mad at you. And that's exactly what I said. And it wasn't no 45 minutes, but yeah, she did come and have a talk with me, told me where she stood. She said that, everybody knows I like you, Tory, this is why I thought it was interesting. Everybody knows where I stand with you, Tory. This is her quote unquote. Everybody knows that, you're my number one, but Demetrius said I need to show him some interest and let him know where I stand, and I didn't want him to feel like, it's all about you. Okay, that ain't what you said in this interview, though. And that ain't what you said to, like I said, she was playing games. That's exactly what she said to me. Everybody knows how I feel about you and how much I care and like you. But, it was her way to show in Demetrius an interest. I'm like, well, damn, out of 15 minutes, like, I don't know. I feel like Sabrina's the girl that would cheat on you and blame you. Oh, well, you know what? I just fell over there because, I wasn't happy with you this day and blah, 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 and got an excuse for everything. Take some responsibility. No responsibility. I ain't I ain't on here to bash, but the lies and the manipulation is just too much for me.
I wanted to see your thoughts. I made a comment. And it was around the fact that, because I think Dakia said you're a friend as well, and and I said this. I said, why do you keep finding yourself seemingly in this friend spot with these ladies? Because I said this is given you end up in the friend zone quite a bit with these ladies. What's going on there? Why are we find ourselves consistently after the show friends with these women? All the women keep speaking highly of you, but from a friend position after the show, what's really going on? Why do we keep end up in this position, sir?
Oh, that was my choice, honestly. It's just nobody on the show was for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good people. I think Sabrina cut out a lot of where a lot of women were interested and they didn't want to shoot their shot because they felt like Sabrina had really marked her territory. That's what I was told. And I just felt like I got stigmatized. And so people didn't really feel comfortable moving forward with me. And beyond that, we just built a friendship. So I just felt like that we all built a friendship, and I got love for everybody. Like, I'm not that type of person. Like, I think anything that is worth having is built on friendship first. You know, it's just, that's how I am. I need to know who you are. If I'm looking for something long term, I need to get to underneath the surface. You know what I'm saying? Not just oh, I feel this in a moment. I need to know if I'm gonna feel this for a long term time. Like, this is gonna be more than now. It's more than lust. It's more than just moments. So yeah, I built a good friendship with all the ladies on the show. It's a choice I wanted because I didn't feel that chemistry towards anybody on the show. I did have it a little bit momentary for Sabrina, and I tried to follow the process of dating other people on the show. But for me, it just wasn't nobody there. For me, it was not a connection that I felt like led to romantic feelings. And, but in that process, I built genuine connections. It wasn't romantic connections, but I built them regardless.
Okay. I'm hearing you, bro. I'm hearing you. Hey, listen, I know you gotta get your hair cut. So listen, we'll chop it up. We'll chop it up after again.
We'll chop it up.
We'll chop it up again after, man. Do you know what I mean? We'll have a conversation, bro. You know what I mean?
I appreciate you.
Yeah, no worries, Cap, man. I appreciate it, bro. Much love and appreciation, bro.
You too.
All right. Wow. Woo! Man, do you know what's so interesting? The brother's just telling you what he really felt, right? The brother's telling you what he felt. And look how the ladies have responded by saying he's out here being messy. He's actually being all of this. And it's quite interesting. He's just sharing his truth. I don't necessarily agree with all of it. I'm going to be honest with you. He's going to have to work on emotional regulation. But it's interesting how you guys are reacting. Interesting. Okay. Well, I see y'all. Man, I see. Like I said, I personally think, unfortunately he got used in the game, and it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm you know me, I'm a supporter of the game players. Unfortunately, if you come to this channel, I kind of support game players. I support game players, right? So I don't really have a problem. I don't really have a problem in people playing the game, and just be honest that you're playing the game when you get caught or when people pull you up on it. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, for me, the situation, there's partly truth and there's partly there's partly also as well accountability he has to take, right? Because he ended up in this situation because of the energy that he put out, right? The energy that he put out is why Sabrina saw him for what she saw him for. She played him, right? That's okay. She played him, and that's what life is. If you don't set up good boundaries, this is what happens. If you don't have good boundaries, people end up playing you, right? Which is what I spoke about from earlier on in the season, that I can see the game that she was playing. I can see the game she was playing with him, all right? And I can understand that. I understand it. When you're on the show, when you're on the show, when multiple options like this, it can make you feel some type of way, and people can feel like they don't want to have their heart broken, etc., right? So I totally get it. Right? I totally understand that. I'm not even really coming at Sabrina. I'm just telling you the truth of what it is. She's a game player. Nothing else to it. That's what I'm saying. No, she's a game player. But it's interesting how quickly the audience has turned on Tory. When he's sharing how he feels, and I watched it turning, and it's interesting how quickly you have gathered, not all of you, but you've gathered to start almost calling him names because he's sharing his truth about how he experienced Sabrina. Isn't it interesting? That's really interesting to watch what happened. Hey, listen. I did not put her in the hero category. I'm so sorry. I did not put her in the hero category. I did not put her in the hero. I did not put Sabrina in the hero category. No. I said Sabrina has turned the audience and turned it around from villain to hero. I did not put her in the hero category. No. I did not say that word. Go back and read the replay. I did not. I said again, she's still a villain for me. You know, it's still a villain for me. So again, you know, yeah, of course. Listen, but that's part of the game, innit? You know what I mean? That's part of the game. Unfortunately, that's his style. What we're kind of showing right now is what we expect of men and how they want them to behave. This is why I said about gender normative roles are playing a part in this situation, right? Because immediately we are expecting him when he decides to be emotional. And by the way, I think the emotional needs emotional regulation. I think it's the way he's emotionally regulated. We say straight away he shouldn't be that way. So a lot of us actually buy into gender normative roles, which is why I was saying about the Sabrina situation earlier on, about when you say certain words, how it sounds, right? How it sounds to men. Because look how quickly, as an audience, not all of you, have slipped into the gender normative roles. As soon as a man starts being emotional or too emotional, you immediately have started calling him names. Immediately. He's whining all season about half. Look at the wording you're using. He's whining. So immediately you fall into gender normative roles, which is what I'm talking about. That this is why, and when I talking about men and talking about women, that if you don't play your role, look how quickly things shift. Look how quickly. Look. Oh, please, Kojo, we watched a man whine. Why did you say whine? Why didn't you just say that he was saying his piece? But you used the word whine on purpose. This is what I'm talking about when I say people need to play their roles, because people adhere to gender normative roles, even if they tell you they don't. Even if they tell you, I don't adhere to gender normative roles, they do. This is why the response is, right? Oh, look at this. He's a crybaby. Where was he crying? But he might have been feeling some type of way. Now, I think he can do, again, I'm going to say it again, I think he needs to have some emotional regulation. He needs to have some emotional regulation because he found himself in that situation, and that's where he has to have accountability. Ain't nobody to blame but yourself. If you get played, Layla, you said whining. You used the definition whining. Come on. If you get played, that you have to look at why you got played. You have to look at why you got played. You have to ask this question and be accountable and say, why did I get played? At the same time, I have to look at Sabrina and say, well, girl, you played him. You knew what you could do. This is what we're talking about when we talk about dual accountability. We have to be dualist in our accountability, because one was playing, they have to be held accountable for their playing, and the other was out here getting played without really looking at the signs. This is exactly what we're talking about. Notice how quickly, look how quickly you've turned against Tory and saying, get over it, you got played. But when it was the Kia, you weren't saying get over it, quickly get played. And I'm not saying all of you. I'm saying some of you. Some of you were so quick, right? So quick to say, Dakia, no, how can she take accountability? And I'm like, yo, she should take accountability because she got played, because she has to look at how she ignored the signs. But when it was Tory, the speed of get over it, Tory, you got played. It happened months ago. Get over it. So now she should get over it? Now he should get over it a few months ago. And then when we say Dakia should get over it, I mean, I'm not saying that personally. I'm not saying anybody should get over it, because at the end of the day, this is still fresh for the people. You know what I mean? But suddenly you want to say he should get over it. It's been months ago. That's what I'm talking about. And this when we have these issues like this, when it comes out, it makes it very clear how we can fall into these lines. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Right? The definition of Dakia was whining. Nobody was saying Dakia was whining. No. I mean, technically, she wasn't really whining. I'll be honest with you. She wasn't whining. So it's not really a good equivalent, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? But in this situation, I've only seen him talk twice. He's only been on my channel twice. I think he's had an interview with Kamisha? Did you have an interview with Kamisha? That's about it. Right? I think that's about it. So he hasn't really been everywhere talking about things. I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen him on lives and stuff like that. Maybe he's been on lives or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I personally, I'm just saying, let's hold that equatable accountability. Y'all were fast today. You were so fast to jump on Tory, quick. And I was looking at the comments like, this is mad interesting. Mad interesting. My thing is this. I don't even think Sabrina's bad. I'll be honest with you. I don't. I personally don't think she's bad. I honestly don't think she's bad. I think she played the game, and that's okay. You know, I think that's okay. If you want to play the game, I think that's okay. It's a show. Unfortunately, a dating show, which everybody should be ready to love. But if you're gonna play the game, which I know the show is a game, you know, it is what it is, you know, and you've got to be aware that people in this lifetime will play a game. You know, you have to be aware people will play a game. And then unfortunately, that's why it is. Look how the energy shifted for Clifton when he played the Kia. That's what I'm saying. When he's playing, it's not playing. When Sabrina's playing, she just chose herself. She's playing. She didn't choose herself. She played. She played. Because she didn't bow out. She played with the emotional feelings of people. And then she bowed out. You were playing. It's okay to say someone's playing. Same way Clifton was playing with the Kia. It's okay to say someone is playing. It's okay. You know, just to say that the person is playing. All right? It gets like that. You feel me? All right. I did call Clifton a villain. Go and check the whole video just done. I called him a villain. This is what I'm saying. Don't have that cognitive dissonance, please. I said that. Go and check my evidence. I did call him a villain. Go and check. I called him a villain. Go and check. I called him a villain. Go and check. I called him a villain. Please don't do that to me, people. Come on now. 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 Don't do that to me. Come on now, guys. Come on. You know I'm gonna hold the same smoke for everybody around the table. You know, listen, again, so someone put this. So how does a woman check out all her options without being a player? It's not the checking out. It wasn't the checking out. It was the it wasn't the checking out. You can check out, have options. You're supposed to have options. You're supposed to have options, okay? And the options that you have here, all right, is you have several men that you can choose from. Go ahead, date them all. That was never my thing about gameplay. Gameplay is not you dating several people. It's when you're not being all the way, right? So when you know you're able to have power over somebody, how do you handle it? Now, she knew when she was pulling him in, roping him in. When he moved away, she pulled him in. When he moved away, he pulled him in. That was part of the gameplay I'm talking about, right? And like I said, I don't even have beef with that. It's just a little bit of dark arts. When you know you have power over somebody and you hold them in a particular position, a particular way as a pawn, you know exactly what you're doing. You know what I mean? Right? So I'm not beefing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not beefing her. I just knew that there was some game playing going on as to hold the person involved, but he's got accountability. You know, so you know, I'm not disputing the fact that, you know, hey, she has the right to choose. Not at all. Not at all. And you're right. Again, thank you. He allowed himself to be played. That is true, which is why he has to take accountability. That's what I said about the Kia, you know. All right. That's it. You get what I'm saying? So you have to take accountability. If you don't take accountability for why you're there, you can get played. Someone said I spoke about Tory whining, but he also made interesting remarks about the Kia showing emotion. What remarks did I make about the Kia showing emotion? Was I saying she's whining? Did I say she is being over emotional? Did I say that? Anything like that? I didn't say any of those lines. I wasn't even conflating her crying. I wasn't even talking about her crying at a reunion. I said about why are you in the position that you're in? Come on, guys. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. Come on. You know what I mean? Come on. You know, I've said it for both sides. You know, someone said I've been biased. Where have I been biased? Yeah. Why is he being biased? Why is he be? Why have I been biased? Where have I been biased? If you can show me where I've been biased, and maybe I'll understand it. Right? I'll show you. But later, where was he whining? This is what I'm trying to say. Where was he whining? If I feel like you've hurt me and I tell you how I feel, where was he whining? That's what I'm trying to say. Where was he whining? Why did you go straight to whining? That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. Because my whole thing was pointing out about the difference we make between men and women. It wasn't necessarily that you just calling a man whiny. It's a difference I was making between men and women and how quickly we run to the fact that we have gender normative behaviors. When a man is being slightly too emotional, how quickly we make a statement about that person. That was my issue. So when you use the word whining, I said, why did you use the word whining? Why don't you just say that he's told his truth, right? And you don't agree with it, but you use the word whining. And that's what I was saying. And I was making it very clear that the audience shifted their perspective real quick when Tory started telling about how he felt. And it became he's whining. Oh, he's being messy. Oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. And I was like, wow, how quickly we turned. I believe that he needs emotional regulation. I said that from early. I believe that. I said that from early. So I've already said that he needs to have emotional regulation. Needs to. So I don't disagree with that point. I'm just saying, why was the whiny situation? Like the brother is explaining how he felt and how he got hurt by the situation. He's explaining this, that. Whether I agree with him or not, he still needs to take accountability. You know what I mean? He's still got to take accountability. That's all I've ever said, you know? You know what I mean? And that's the truth. This is the absolute truth, right? So that part there, you know what I mean? But I get what you're saying. I'm not. I said I think it's quite interesting. You know, I think it's quite interesting. She's referring to him going into confessional and pout face, but he wasn't pouting now. That's the whole point. He wasn't pouting now. He was on a camera talking to us face to face right now. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm kind of you know, I'm kind of discussing here in that respect. You know what I'm saying? Woo, anyway, listen, it's been interesting. Hey, listen, it's been interesting, you know. It's been interesting. Hey, listen, we probably gonna agree to disagree, but that's what makes great content, innit? That's what makes great content. I'm gonna disagree with you, you're gonna disagree with me. And I appreciate the fact that you know, we're having these different points of view. Do you know what I'm saying? I totally appreciate the fact that we might not agree on this point, and I appreciate the fact that you guys have been respectful. Even if you call you out and you call me out, I respect the fact that we're having respectful dialogue, and I want it to continue in this particular way as well, because this is helpful for all of us. You know what I mean? I may look back at this conversation and be like, you know what, maybe I got something wrong. Do you know what I mean? I may look back at it, and it's because it's respectful dialogue. When it's respectful dialogue, it means everybody can go, when they look back on it, they can look back at it and not be angry about the situation. So you guys are having with me. I'm almost respectful for this. Again, Yo, guys, I'm so sorry. Listen, my internet has been moving mad. It's been moving mad. But listen, thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna sign out anyway. I'm gonna be on live in a little bit. I'm gonna be alive in a second or two, and we're gonna talk a little bit. You know, we're gonna talk a little bit about another thing later on. So tune in a few minutes time. We're gonna have another video. We're gonna talk about relationships. But thank you again. You know, yeah, and I was very shocked. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was very shocked with this comment that was made. I didn't agree with it. I'll be honest with you, I didn't see it. In interviewing her, I did not see it. You know what I mean? I did not see that particular interview. I didn't see not see that in Sabrina on the show, off the show, on my interviews. I never saw that in any interaction. So I don't agree with that at all. Not at all. I don't think we can be that's fair to say that. I don't agree with that at all. So yeah. Yeah. So listen, anyway, it's mad out here, baby. Okay, listen, we gonna be back. Okay, we gonna be back. We gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be back. So we will talk a little bit later on, you guys. All right, and we're back. All right, it's gonna get interesting. I appreciate you guys. Still locked, still loaded, man. More love.